Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys here. I'm Christian Ocampo, and today I'm joined by another voice actor. We have Jordan Reynolds. How you doing, sir?
What's up? How's it going, Christian?
It's great. Finally glad to have you here on Skype. We've been meaning to do this for quite a while, and now
I
we've finally
know.
done it.
We've been like super secret Twitter friends for like, I feel like at least 2 years or something at this point. So this is awesome.
Yeah,
Put a face to you.
yeah, it's crazy. Like as we touch upon 2020, by the time we record this, great way to kind of like end the last of the decade, and yeah, and kick off
Totally.
the
I
new
know.
decade.
I know. It's like 2019 flew by.
Definitely did, and so many things have happened, since then.
Awesome.
So you are still growing as an actor, with tons of new projects coming out every few months or so for you. Tell us, what is your favorite project you have worked on?
Favorite project? It's nothing that grand or that like anyone. It's not even notable to where it's like someone like, oh, you did so good in that, right? It's versus anime shows or whatnot. But it's special to me because it was my first gig when I moved here to LA just a few years ago, and it was also happened to be at Warner Brothers. So that was the voice of the NASA computer in the movie called Geostorm. So I don't think the ratings were super good on the movie, but it was Gerald Butler and who's the other actor in it? I should know this, but yeah, it was something I actually auditioned for in Colorado when I was still living there, and then when just a few weeks after I got settled in LA in 2017, my agent called me like, hey, you booked the computer voice. It was only like 3 lines. It was really short. They're like, you're going to Warner Brothers, on this date. I'm like, oh my god! So that was just like, what I just couldn't have made like moving to LA feel more magical, and I still have stars in my eyes that I get to live here and make voices for a living, So, but yeah, that was it. Like I didn't know if it was gonna be British or American because I did like 2 different accents in my audition, and you don't really get all that info sometimes when you book it. So you just go in and you're like, just go in with as much as you can and be as flexible as you can. And luckily it was a very easy session, but I got to work with like a legendary ADR director. Her name is Barbara Harris. She's pretty much, she casts all the voices for some of the biggest, like, just go look at her IMDb. It's insane. She's a legend. She's an amazing director, but like tons of Marvel movies, you name it. So all those like reactions of like guys going, or people talking in a restaurant, this woman hires those voice talent. And I happened to get these few lines in this one movie, and it was really fun for me and just a magical experience. So that's my favorite gig because it's got a lot of meaning for me.
No, well, congrats on making big impression. Moving to LA, like not many people can really say that. So I'm happy that
No,
that has grown for you over the years.
absolutely, it's so worth it. It's a tough town to live in, man. Yeah.
Definitely, I've tried
Yeah.
before. It's a tough one.
Oh, you have? When?
2015,
Okay.
yeah. So 4 or 5 years by the time this interview goes up. So yeah, that's a whole different conversation that I would like to save for a different time. Go into detail.
I'd like to hear it, but yeah.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you,
So as you have been working hard in LA in this industry, tell us what is it like working in the voiceover industry.
dude, it's insanely fun. Like the business already it's super, it's just super cool to be able to like, to not have to have a job that you hate. I feel like that's kind of expected in America, like you talk to all your friends, you're like, oh, how's your job? And they're like, yeah, and that's fine. And I was that person to a degree. I liked a lot of my jobs, but I had jobs I hated, and it's not easy to get a job you love, right? So I just feel I'm just so grateful every day that I get to work in an industry that I love. There's stuff that's very hard about it. It's not like it's just not just a piece of cake, right? Like you got to work really hard, and you don't know where your next paycheck's coming. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of cons to being a solo freelance voice talent versus having a steady executive job, right, in an office. It depends on your personality and your style. But it's changed since moving to LA. It's really changed my life. I feel like this is my real home. I was raised in Colorado, but that's where I built my voiceover career. But there's things at heart. I was always like, I was a character actor, right? So I do a lot of commercials and e-learning and business videos and phone systems. That's where most of the voiceover work exists. But the really, really fun stuff like anime and big like AAA video games and all that stuff, it's pretty much all in LA. They're making more and more exceptions for the recording of talent from if you have like a very specific accent or it's got to be like really niche stuff. They'll consider and even do book talent who don't live in LA, but it's still kind of you got to live here to get access to like the big stuff, right? And so since moving here, it just opened up the amount of opportunities, and honestly, the more fun opportunities, like the thing the Warner Brothers thing, or like these amazing anime projects I've got to work on. Like I couldn't have done any of that from Colorado. I don't know, maybe if I got pulled some strings, but I don't think it'd be legal. Just saying.
Yeah, no, definitely, especially with unions, and then inside recording, and then just everything comes together, for certain projects to to be recorded.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's jump into some of the stuff you worked on, which I'm excited to ask you for. First of all, what is it like working on Sword Guy, the animation, which is on Netflix right now?
Yeah. That was my. I think that okay. That wasn't my first anime, but it was my first named role in an anime. I'm almost certain. And I haven't done a lot, but I've done I've done a chunk of anime. I've been here for almost 3 years, and I was thrilled when I got it because it's like, what? I have a name. I'm not like Street Thug #2 or or Police Officer #8, which is how you start, right? Like you gotta. I don't expect to be handed a name role even from auditioning, and like they're gonna test you out. They're like, okay, does he like show up on time? Is he friendly? Is he gonna be drunk? Like these are all these. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like this is a risk you take when you hire a freelancer and anything, like, right? You hire a plumber. Mm-hmm. There's these risks you take of like, well, I have a timeline. I got to get this fixed. And same with the voice talent. And so I had to work my way out and eventually got the role, of Kakatsuka. And I loved it because it wasn't just like a one type of personality. He was very two-faced. Mm-hmm. So without spoiling anything major, essentially he had he's a doctor for a bunch of children. He's studying them, and which appears to be for good reasons on the outside. And so he's just kind of like this. He's very friendly, and he's hey kids, he's just very unassuming and a very soft, gentle, soft-spoken guy, and he couldn't do any harm. And then he goes behind the closed door, and then he's a little bit more evil, right? He's working for a bad guy, but it was very difficult because they didn't want me to go too evil, right? So because I play a lot of villains, like, right, so I'm able to go real dark real quick, and so they had to keep keeping me in this pocket of like being the friendly guy and being hey kids, and then just getting a little bit more dark. But they didn't want me to get like this, like those kids I'm gonna kill, right? Which I wasn't going all the way there, right? But it was like they didn't want me to overshadow the main bigger villains and stuff like that. So it was a challenge, but it was a great challenge, and so I had so much fun because there was a lot of layers to that character.
Definitely, and it's always fun having those challenges. Trying to be more 3D with your characters, which again it's hard in itself trying to get in the mindset of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. The way you explained it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a challenge. I like being challenged. Like you don't want to just go and be like, oh, it's a piece of cake. Like you want something to push you, otherwise you're not going to grow as a talent, you know. And whether it makes you really, really uncomfortable and you like almost blew the session, you're still going to learn something from that, you know. But the best balance is like you want to be pushed outside of your comfort zone or something that was challenging to a degree throughout the session, and that's how you're going to get better. You know, you don't want to just go in and coast everything. So
Yeah, definitely. And then speaking of villains, with the next question, and here's one of my favorite series that you got to work on. What was like working on Fate Extra Last Encore?
that was cool. It was man, I think it was really quick because I think it was only like 2 episodes. I think maybe
Yes.
3. Let's see, I think it's just 2. But the amazing and legendary Tony Oliver directed me. So when I came in, I was so ignorant. I'm newer to this anime stuff. Like I need to watch more. I'm very busy, right?
Yeah.
And so I wish I had more time to indulge and to like just watch a whole series of anime for homework. I've seen plenty, but it's more for like homework and like focused, like an episode here, an episode. But I wasn't aware who Tony Oliver was. So he's like, "Hi, I'm Tony." I'm like, "Oh, nice to meet you, Tony." And I'm just like, "Why?" And I looked him up like later. I'm like, "That's Tony Oliver." And look at his IMDb. Oh my god. He's like, "Okay." I'd heard the name like thrown around, but he just said, "Hi, I'm Tony," and I never knew what he looked like. So that was kind of funny. So that's how the session started. But I loved it because he said, "Hey, we're doing things." Can't remember exactly how he wanted it different, but he said we're doing things a little different than traditional anime performance. I'm just trust me in how I direct you. I want you to. We want it. I believe he said we want it a bit more. It's just a bit more natural and contained, as opposed to big and theatrical or predictable. I guess is what he would say. So I don't know if I nailed that for him, but he seemed to be happy, and I had at least 2 sessions, so. But the response seemed to be good. But it was really fun because that character, he has so much power and strength, and it was fun to keep him to not have to get big to demonstrate that power that Julius holds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a badass. He's a bad dude, but he's also a badass in his own right. And so I didn't have to like get, there's moments where he gets big and explosive, but most of the time, what's more intimidating? Someone who's just really calm and he's talking down here and he's just looking at you, or someone who's just freaking out, right? Both are scary in their own right, but one's a little bit more laughable, right? Mm-hmm. Versus the one where they're just really intense and they're just staring at you. They're just saying their lines slowly and they know exactly what they're talking about, right? So that made it really fun to be able to play. I love playing those roles where it feels a bit more. There's more depth to it. So, and I didn't realize. I mean, the show is beautiful. The story, again, I haven't seen the whole series, but I've seen about 3 episodes of that series, and it's just like, it's so cool. It's beautiful how like you kind of like don't know what's real, and man, that's sucks to be the main character. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Except when he's winning.
Yeah. Yeah, like go back like with the whole acting performance, like your character was just very calculating. It's just he took his time, very condescending, towards when he spoke. I think that was just a great villain, and that's the thing about the whole Fate series. All the villains, they're different, but they give a challenge. Both as performance, and when you watch the show, they're like this guy's not going to go down easily. You have to. The main characters, they have to really put the effort to take them down in order to win. So, yeah, that's another reason why I love the Fate series. It's just the way they do things, the way they engage in combat. It's all about it's like a mind board chess game.
Yeah.
So People have mixed feelings about the whole Fate series, but like I love everything about like I love every spin-off, every sequel, prequel, whatever you want to call it. Like I'll take in all the Fate series.
Yeah, I know. There's a ton that are out there. So, but yeah, you're right. I like that idea. You said like how it felt more heady, right? Like it's like mind chess or whatever. You said it much more smooth than I did, but yeah, that's how it felt, right? It wasn't just like who has the strongest punch and who has the biggest sword, right? I'm not saying all anime is that or anything, but it's easier to just use that like in just general physical strength or power. But then there's the whole, what if you could defeat someone just by through your words, right? Yeah. Oh, that's cool, right? So yeah, that was really fun to work on, man.
Yeah, psychological warfare. That's the other phrase I was going to throw in. So you gotta use psychology in order to win.
Absolutely.
All right, another project, and this one came out surprise both for you and for the fandom for this classic franchise, Lupin the Turb. What was it like being part of that huge series?
Dude, again, I know people probably will hate me when I say this, but I didn't quite know how big it was until I looked up kind of the history of it when I booked a role, right? Because as a voice talent, you're kind of like you get all these auditions, which it's free, like you're not getting paid, right? They send it to you, you record it. 99% of the time, I'm recording in that booth for my auditions, right? So I'm like, I get it in, and sometimes it's like we had to start this late because I had something come in from my agent, and it's super quick. Like we need to turn around 30 minutes. Anime stuff typically is not that, but I say all this because you're just kind of in a mode of like, hey, what's the breakdown? Where's the reference? You try to like look up as much info as you can about the show and the character when you audition, so that you can put that into your performance. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do in a certain amount of time. So I remember booking it. I think I booked. It was Ling is what they booked me for, and when I came in, I also did more roles. But Peekaboo and Ling were like my main guys, right? and so the amazing Richard Epcar directed me. And again, another ignorant moment. I didn't know who he was. Like, you gotta remember, like, I'm super new to this town, right? And to the whole scene of anime and bigger games, but I love it and I enjoy working in it and I'm learning. But he's like, hi, I'm Richard. Nice to meet you. Like, oh, that guy's got some pipes. He should do voiceover. I didn't know he was a voice. Like, I thought he was just the director, right? And then I look him up after. I'm like, oh shit. It's like saying like him and Tony. I'm like, oh shit, look at their IMDb. Oh, he's the Joker. What? Yeah. So that was really cool because when I'd come in and see the sign-in sheet, like you see who like the talent, I recognize, like I'm like, oh, Christina V. Oh, I know who that is. And Lex Lang, and I was just like, holy crap. And at that point, I knew who Tony Oliver was. So I saw Tony. I'm like, okay. Wow, I'm playing with some big talent. I'm super lucky. And Richard made the session super fun. Like he's just cracking jokes the whole time. And the series is hilarious, Like it's a really fun show. So you get to be really expressive, and I appreciate them letting me be characters that were very different from each other. Because a lot of times as a voice talent, you'll get, like if I get booked for, a guy who's talking down here, right? Mm-hmm. They'll think that most of the stuff I can do is just deep and scary and all, right? But like Peekaboo, I'm probably gonna clip the mic, but he's just like this really obnoxious young guy, and he's just like, oh my god, he's super privileged, and he thinks he deserves everything. He's surrounded by hot chicks, and he's like, what? He's just really obnoxious, and nothing like Ling. Ling is very straightforward and just kind of creepy. Like he almost like he doesn't have a soul. I think this was his voice. It was something like this. But to go in between those characters, my God, how fun is that? And so that was a lot of sessions, and because there's a lot of episodes, and I'm just honored to be it's a small part of that Luke Bond III Part 5 pie, because I think it came out amazing, and the fans' responses were so awesome. So it was an honor and a privilege to work on that, and to do multiple characters, So,
Yeah. But again, congrats again on being part of a huge classic. And it's always great to see new names such as yourself get the opportunity to be in it. Just whichever character you can get. I know it's just for you. It's humbling and honor to just get to step into that realm. So,
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Like it's, I mean, like I said, since moving here, it's been a dream, and it's hard. It's really hard, to live in this town, as you know. But it's again these opportunities that we get. It's amazing. So yeah.
All right. So another Netflix series you also got to work on. Tell us, what was it like working on Hero Mask?
That was really cool. What I loved about it is that again, there's maybe plenty of anime shows that are like this, but from the ones we've talked about, Hero Mask wasn't, to me, when I came in and they told me the story and explained the character and all that, it wasn't anything like I'd worked on before, to where it just felt like a detective thriller novel. Right, like that's how nothing was too like far out or too fantasy, which is fine. I love that stuff, but this just felt like a kind of a gritty detective, modern day thing going on. It could be wrong in the whole arc of the story, but at least in the parts that my character were in, that's how it felt. And so what was really cool is that in a lot of anime they have us. We have to. I'm talking at a kind of a above normal volume right now. It's like we do on our phone calls, like, hey, how's it, when you're on your phone, you always talk about. So, but like my normal speaking voice is more like around here, right? Like if I'm relaxed a bit. And so, but this is typically too quiet in anime. Like they want at least about like right here. All right. Or even more, even in like scenes where like I've been directed where I'm like, it might be something like saying goodnight to, a baby or something. They're going to sleep. And I think I did. So I'm like, good night. I'm like, can you do that louder? I'm like, good night. And they're like, perfect. I'm like, okay. But again, I'm just honoring, like, it's my job to do what they want. So in anime, we tend to, at least in my little experience, I've been told that I need to project a bit more because I'm used to doing more quieter, dramatic stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But Alan on Hero Mask, I got to be like he pretty much was just always thinking, he's always he didn't trust anyone. And he's not very loud. Like he'll get loud when he has to. Like in action scenes, he's yelling, right? Mm-hmm. But like if he's just having a one-on-one with you and he's trying to figure you out, he's kind of just right here. And it was so much more natural and comfortable for me in that character, and it's fun to not trust anyone.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of special to me, that role, because my dad is an ex-detective in the Canadian police. He was I think for almost 20 years, and he was a very moral, wow, crazy, huh? A moral cop, right? And he got a lot of shit for it from like people would just like the other cops. They would like they'd be at a crime scene. There's like a bunch of drug money, and they might be like divvying some of it up, like putting it in their pockets. My dad wouldn't take any, and they would notice, and they're like, "Come on, you're gonna rat on us? You're gonna rat on us, man?" And my dad was like, "No, I'm not. I'm just not participating." And so and that eventually led to him leaving because he was so like morally bullied, if you will, or immorally bullied. I don't know how you work,
or morally disgusted.
Yeah, that too. I mean, it was all that, right? Mm-hmm. And not that was like the core of Alan, but Alan, without spoiling anything, you'll see the decisions that he has to make in the storyline that, even though it's against maybe the rule or the ethic, like it's for the better. He has his own golden rules or his own moral compass, which I can relate to. It's through empathy and not just like a heart, like it must be the job. But he's very by the book too, and he's willing to kind of bend some of the rules to make sure what he believes is the honorable thing to do to happen. So I enjoyed that element of him because he wasn't just like, I have this one thing I must do and nothing's going to stop me. He always had to be considering, and chewing on stuff and then being surprised, thinking he could trust someone and didn't. So again, like I felt like this cool thriller detective novel. So that was really fun project.
Yeah, and I can see why you enjoyed it. Well, this is new and a little bit of trivia for me and for the viewers, hearing about this. So yeah, thank you for sharing about your dad's past, because no one would have guessed.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. It'd be a good guess though, man. Give him a prize.
Yeah. All right. Now let's move on to the video game questions. So you got to work on Smite. Tell us, what was it like working on Smite?
That was fun, like super fun, because I definitely know my voice was pretty sore at the end of that because it's a lot, it's action, right? Mm-hmm. But playing Revenant Achilles, it's like if Loki, from the Marvel movies, was even more theatrical. It's kind of what he is, right? Like I wasn't thinking of Loki, but like Tom Hiddleston, he plays he's kind of like this. He's always pulled back, and he'll get more expressive if he wants to. Thor, you need to listen to me. And then if he was a bit more fuller voiced and more theatrical, that's essentially what Revenant Achilles was. And he was very like flamboyant. I had so much fun. They just pushed me to be as big and theatrical and bombastic, like, oh, that hurts, just like it's almost cartoony, like and then he'd get really scary. So if it would be like, oh, I don't think you should wear that color. It doesn't look very good on you. And then the next line, like, I'm gonna kill you. It's just really big. Is lots of layers to them for how simple the role is, which is kind of just call outs, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it was my first. It's like my second British character role, so that was fun. And I think there was a lot of improv that they let me do. Like of course I can't think of like what lines I improvised or anything, but just they would give you a situation and they're like, how would you react in character? Just give us some lines, oh, that's hot, just lots of, you never know what's going to come out in the session, so you always appreciate it when the other people on the people on the other side of the glass, the directors, the copywriters, producers, the whole team, whoever it may be, is having just as much fun as you are as the voice talent. That's when it's a real good time. And most of the times they are, but it's a hard job. Like they have to like mark takes and listen, and like it's very technical what they're doing. So you can't get quite as loose as a voice talent gets to get when you're performing. So I don't blame when directors or copywriters, engineers are kind of lower energy and they're just kind of like, I got to get this done. I've had a 12-hour day. I get it. So I never judge them for it. But it's fun. Like I remember in the Smite session, I don't even think they were physically there. They were patched in on the phone directing me. And I couldn't even see him, and we were all having a blast. So very, very fun role to work on.
Yeah, no, British roles, like I enjoy hearing, anyone do a British accent. I'm a sucker when I hear a British accent. And
aren't we all?
Yeah. It's just something about it, just the way the words rolled out. I think just the way it kind of tickles us when we hear it, in our ears. So
yeah.
I just love it whenever it pops out.
I love it. Yeah. I'm a total British accent sucker too. All flavors, Cockney, Northern, just straight up RP, British, like London. I love any flavor of the UK accent. I can't do them all. I could do a little bit, but yeah.
All right. Another video game question, and this one came out, not too long ago. Swordchain. what was it like working on Astral Chain?
That was it was really cool. That was the well, let me start over. The that project had the most, like, before we even started recording, I was given the most amount of backstory and detail and all the like how everything intertwined and where it was going before we recorded. Like, it was you. I think a lot of people don't know, who aren't voice talent or who work in the voice-over part of bringing a game together, and even anime. At least in anime, you can usually find the Japanese episode that you're going to be dubbing. But in video games, most of the time we go in, we might get a script beforehand, but most of the time we don't. So we're like literally going in and it's all cold reading. And so we, like, hundreds of lines, perhaps, paragraphs, monologues where we talk about our wife dying and how we miss her, and we never get to see, we do it literally reading it for the first time, performing it out loud. And, we'll generally do maybe 2 takes, but sometimes that first, 3 or 4 if we're really, trying to nail something in. And on Astral Chain, while I wasn't given the script beforehand, when I showed up, they like had footage and, rough ideas, and they told me like who every character was. Jamie Mortellaro directed it. Amazing director. And he's just able to get these nuances out of every voice actor to kind of slow you down and not just, it's not like we all just go in and say the lines, but if there's opportunities to kind of milk it, is what I call like milking different phrases within a sentence, he's going to give you all these different angles and arcs to go through to really kind of breathe out through that character. So that really helps us as actors to really have all that stuff in our bag, as opposed to just like, hey, here's your line. I think you're talking to, I think the villain. Go, right? It's usually how it goes. Like, is this my first interaction with the villain? Is it? And we can ask questions, but you always try to find that balance of keeping the session going as a voice talent and asking questions that are relevant and are going to help your performance. If it's just going to help you this much, I'll back off. But if it's like that, hey, have I ever met this villain? Or, is this my first encounter yet? That's important. I would ask that question. So in Astral Chain, I didn't really have to do that. Like, it was just all poured on me. And that allowed me to really go through that whole story, which is a beautiful story. And the game is gorgeous. Like, just everyone who worked on that, they should be proud of that game. I had no idea how big it was going to be. Oh, and I remember when it was multiple sessions when I came in after they dropped the first trailer. Jamie, the director, he said he's always like, God, he puts all of himself into every project he works on. But I'll never forget, I showed up and like, hey man, they dropped the trailer. I'm like, oh cool. And like, you want to see it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so apparently all the fans are talking, or the fans of the game. It's not even out yet, but the fans of the trailer. And they're like, apparently your character Jin Wang, all the girls are losing their shit. You're the cutest one, they think. And I'm like, okay. Like, I didn't even have a line. Like, my voice wasn't even in the trailer. And I'm like, so it just cracked me up that he's like, yeah, your drawing of your character, like, girls got the hots for you. I'm like, I do wear glasses sometimes. That's about as much as I look like that guy. But he's a good looking dude. So I don't blame the fans. But that, it's just stuff like that. There was a lot of build up before it was coming out that I was hearing about. So it was just, again, amazing cast, amazing storyline, the game design. God, like, I don't have a Switch, so I can't play it. But I've looked up footage of it, it's so cool. It's so cool. So
yeah, no, definitely that game. I love the hype. I like the way it just surprised everyone. Just the love that went into it by the fans. And for those of you who are watching this interview, Kyle McCarthy, who plays one of the characters in Astral Chain, he does his Twitch streams every once in a while. So if you guys want to see him play it, I'll plug to his channel on Twitch. Just type in Kyle McCarthy on Twitch, and you can see him playing the game. He has some of the other actors from the game join him once in a while. So, Kyle, if you're watching this, free plug for you, man. Free plug.
Plug. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. And now it's time for our funny question that we like to ask everyone. If you could be any character you have played in real life, who will you be? And you can mix a match.
Ooh, okay. I had to think about this one. I was like, I don't know if I could just pick one. Since you gave me the option to like mix and match, like hello, it's a dream. It's like a game, right?
Yeah.
So, glancing at the characters that I've done and of the ones that are out, unfortunately, it's all I get to pick from because I can't talk about anything until it's out. Because there's some stuff that I've done that would be really fun to take an element of their personality. But from what I've done, it would definitely be Alan from Hero Mask, the detective, and Revenant Achilles. I'm choking a lot. Revenant Achilles from Smite. Why? Because he's just got that strong moral code. He's a good guy. He wants to do the right thing, and I like what he stands for, and that's what's the most important to me in life, right? It's like, what are your beliefs, right? Like, are you a good person? Like, do you care about people? That's very important to me. And Alan, out of all the characters that I've glanced at, I relate to him the most in that manner. But then you got Revenant Achilles, who's just like full of confidence, bombast, like nothing will stop him from accomplishing what he wants to accomplish. So if you take this good moral code and belief system of Alan, and then you take Revenant Achilles, who's just brute force, right? Like, he will do whatever it takes to take that good moral code. Hey, you got yourself a superhero. A good man right there. An unstoppable force of good. I like that. So
yeah.
That'd be my comic book character.
Okay. For sure.
I guess we'll call him Revenant Alan. It doesn't have as much impact, does it? It's like Revenant Bob. Achilles sounds a bit more powerful, so.
Yeah, it does. All right. So I know there's NDAs to think about asking this question, but is there anything coming out that you can talk about, or anything right now that's out that you want to plug in at this time?
Oh man, you know how it goes. You've done enough of these interviews. All I can say is there's trailers for games that are already out that haven't been released. Like, the game itself hasn't been released, but I can't. That's the most I can say. There's trailers for games that I'm in that haven't been released, but that's like the most I can tickle.
That's fine.
I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm really excited. Some pretty legendary series, to put it that way. So yeah.
I'll just say this for fans out there. You know the drill. Like, just keep an eye out for Netflix, Aniplex, any of those companies that that Jordan has worked on. Just watch out for announcements on social media. Something will come up, and we've all done this before. Just wait until the trailers drop, especially for 2020. Yeah. We will see what's coming out.
Yeah, I can't say there's stuff coming out in like the first quarter of 2020 that I'm in games. So
or whenever.
Yeah, I know. That's their intended release date. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes like Shenmue 3, a game took 18 years to make.
Yeah.
But, it was crowdfunded and everything. I cannot. That's the story of that is epic. So.
Yeah, that's one example. All right, so now we come to our last question, and again, another one we always ask: any Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any other social media or ways for the fans to contact you at?
Yeah, honestly, I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram. I'm pretty easy to find, but it's funny, at the time of this interview, my handle on Twitter is just Jordan Ren, JordanReyn. And then on Instagram, it's Jordan's Voice. But those should be changing, hopefully, to just Jordan Reynolds. I'm doing some magic to get a hold of those accounts that are inactive. Like, someone else has got them, but they don't use them.
Oh, okay.
So I'm working with Twitter and Instagram to get a hold of those. so it can just be Jordan Reynolds across the board. But if you just type in my name, it should be pretty easy to find. My face is smacked everywhere. Oh, and one thing I actually am working on, that's not like, this is only for people who are interested in voiceover, but I get so many people over the years, asking like, how do I get into voiceover? How do you get into anime or video game? Having worked in like a lot of the genres in voiceover, anime, video games, dubbing, looping, commercial, explainer videos, corporate videos, phones. I mean, I could keep going. Just like, there's all these genres in voiceover. I pretty much have worked in most genres except audiobooks over my career, and I'm going to be putting together just a broad overview course of all those genres and what essentially like how much work there is in those fields, and how to at least get started, or where you should approach, like where to get training and stuff like that, and how much work is available across all those genres. So, because a lot of people are like, they think they want to do cartoons or anime, but they might not want to once they've heard that there's actually a lot more work in training videos. It just depends where you're like if you're just in the Midwest somewhere and you want to work on anime, it can be hard if you don't live in Texas or Los Angeles. So, but if you want to make money in voiceover and at least learn how to get like a home studio set up and all that, there's other ways you can actually start making money. It's not as exciting work, but hey, you could be like, I just paid my electric bill this month from working on 3, training videos for, Chevy, right? Like that, there's so much of that work out there. So it's going to be just kind of this broad series. It's either going to be on my website or probably like on Skillshare or Udemy or something like that. So just keep an eye out on my social media. I hope to have that done in the first quarter of 2020. So it's just something I'm really excited about, because I've had so many people help me, throughout the years, and I want to be able to help each person individually, but I don't have time. So I'm like, I'm going to put something together that can at least getting started, start here for people. So.
All right.
So yeah, I guess I've done that plug before.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't plug any games, but there's a course that's going to come out soon, hopefully.
That's okay. We will look forward to that. So yeah, that concludes our interview. Thank you, Jordan, for taking the time to do this interview with us, the Ohio guys. All of us, we appreciate you for doing this.
Oh, appreciate you, Matt. Thank you so much for taking the time, and it's an honor to be on the show. You've had some amazing guests, so thanks, Christian.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you to our viewers who are tuning in for this episode. Thank you all. We will be seeing you in the next edition. I'm Christian. And he's Jordan.
All right.
And we'll see you next time. Man. Bye, everyone.
Bye.